Welcome to Atypical, an offbeat take on news in the addiction recovery field. I am co-host Mary Crocker Cook from the San Jose City College Alcohol and Drug Studies program. Be sure and subscribe.
Right on, our sixth program.
It is.
And I'm Gary Montreza, co-host, executive director of Pathway Society in San Jose.
Our purpose is to both educate and entertain with recent news stories about the addiction field. We've set up our podcast in sections that include drugs, news, an ethics challenge, and prevention. And in fact, I'm going to start us off on our first section. Why would you use that to get high? Today...
No.
This is so exciting.
Right,
today we're going to talk about hand sanitizer, Gary. Hand sanitizer. You may have heard about people drinking hand sanitizer to get drunk or get a buzz. Let's see.
I've heard of this.
Okay, let's see if it's safe.
Get it.
A typical 240 milliliter container of hand sanitizer gel contains comparable alcohol to 5 shots of hard liquor. Ooh. It's hard to say when drinking hand sanitizer came into vogue, but recently it's been prison inmates started using it as an intoxicant around 2009. You know, all the best things come out of prison, Gary.
I guess so, yeah.
Recent trends mainly practiced by teens include mixing hand sanitizer with Listerine to make a strong minty cocktail, mixing the gel with salt to separate the alcohol from the gel and distill the alcohol from hand sanitizer. Okay, so drinking the resulting cocktail is called hand sanitripping, getting a hand sanity fix, getting drunk on Mr. Clean's tears, or getting hand sanitized.
So if I see someone licking their hands all the time,
you'll know.
Maybe?
You'll know. It could be that.
If they're not a kitten or a cat.
Okay, well, here's the problem. There are different types of alcohol in the disinfectant and hand sanitizer, and only one of them isn't deadly poisonous. Methanol is not used in hand sanitizer because it's toxic and comes through the skin. So when you read a bottle of hand sanitizer, you'll likely see ethyl alcohol listed as an active ingredient, around 60%, which is equivalent to 120 proof liquor. In comparison, straight vodka is only 80 proof.
Wow.
Okay, so other ingredients include a benzophenone, carboner, fragrance, glycerin, all kinds of stuff I can't pronounce. And some of these ingredients are harmless, others are toxic, but fragrance is the most likely to cause the problem.
Fragrance?
Fragrance, that's the ingredient that's going to make you really poisoned. Yeah, it says, actually it does contain ethyl alcohol, which could be drunk, except it's denatured, which means adulterated to make it undrinkable. That actually, did you know?
It's not stopping anyone.
No, but did you know that during the days of Prohibition, denaturing agents included arsenic and benzene?
Ooh.
Now they use non-toxic, foul-tasting chemicals, but the problem is you don't know which one when you read the label.
Benzene,
not that these kids are reading the label. I'm just saying.
Benzene is a fuel additive.
Yes.
Right?
The main risk of drinking hand sanitizer isn't from the toxic chemicals actually, but the extremely high alcohol content. People wind up hospitalized because of overdose.
Oh.
Yeah, so pretty gnarly actually. The alcohol content's so high, you can actually drink a bit of it before you start to even realize or feel the effects.
No kidding.
So I know that it is, we're going into holiday season. People are going to be getting germs, but, I'm just saying that we need to pay attention to how quickly the hand sanitizer is disappearing in your home.
You can see someone squirting it into their mouth. Yeah.
Into their cocktail glass.
That would be, oh, that gives a new term, a new way to look at tumblers, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. So anyway, that's pretty nasty, but you know how I love to share nasty things with you, Gary. So there you go.
Nasty. I got one for you. So we're doing a podcast, right?
Yeah, we are.
We're not televising it. No. So how come we still have a makeup person? How come I have to sit here and go through makeup and no one's going to see this?
Well, Gary, I think you look mighty pretty in your makeup.
I'm just saying before we start. It's unbelievable what we have to go through.
It's worth it, babe. It is.
It's worth it, yeah. You can tell the program is really, we've increased our professionalism. And the audience has grown really large.
Yeah,
so
we get more and more people in this little closet.
Yeah. Someone sponsored a makeup person, but we're like, we don't even televise this. It's not even on TV. So,
but we're not one to turn down free offers.
We don't turn it down, so
there it is.
We're in full makeup. All right. Well, Thank you for the hand sanitizer warning, I'll call it.
There it
Let's
is.
shift into our next section. It's news and addiction with a focus on Wall Street.
Okay.
And I must admit, full disclosure, before I even do this article, I was triggered rather heavily by this article.
Do tell.
Yeah, it'll probably come out and seep out as I go through the article.
Okay.
I hope you can forgive me and the audience. You think about Wall Street. What's the first thing you think about?
Money.
You think about money. And so it's a little bit scary when you look at the market going up and down, and you might think to yourself, are these people high? In fact, they're high.
Yes,
Some of them are high, So I'm going to just first start with the definition that I'll refer back to later in the article. The term is affluenza. Has anyone heard of that term?
Affluenza.
Have you heard of the term?
I heard about that kid that was arrested.
Yeah, well, here it is. Extreme materialism, consumerism associated with the pursuit of wealth and success, and resulting in a life of chronic dissatisfaction, debt, overwork, stress, and impaired relationships.
Oh.
Affluenza is particularly rampant in the U.S.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
that's not a shock, Gary.
That's not a shock. Okay, so let's shift over to our article. This is from Bloomberg. The title of the article, The Opioid Addict on the Trading Floor. So, the folks trading. Wall Street professionals get hooked, and some executives see an opportunity. Side note, because they're capitalists.
Oh, my God.
So, here we go. This is how I got triggered. So I'm going to try to be serious about the article, but if I start, decompensating,
I'll step in. I'll step in, buddy.
Okay, thank you. So things got bad for this trader, Trey. Yes, Laird. He was drinking alone after work, doing cocaine on an evening train to Connecticut, and his biggest problem was he was swallowing about 160 milligrams of OxyContin every day.
Oh, my God.
So he spent his time, thinking about it and what he's going to do, and coming down and running out of the markets and the Manhattan offices to go find a dealer. So
that's really interrupting his workday.
Yeah, we call that a full-blown addiction.
Yeah, we would say that's an addiction.
We would say so. So Laird now, he's 47. He's no longer doing that. He's been clean. He's in a different business, and this is where it gets kind of interesting. He opened in 2016 a sober living environment.
Okay.
And what I'm not telling you yet, it's called Lighthouse.
Okay.
And you think it's kind of cool, isn't it? It's
Lighthouse, nice recovery term.
Yeah, he's opening a nice sober living home. It's a luxury sober living home in Darien, Connecticut.
Okay.
And if you want to stay there, one bedroom costs you $1,500 or $15,000 if you want to just be alone. If you want a roommate, though, we'll give you a reduced rate for $12,500
a month.
A month.
A month. Oh
yes,
my God.
So
okay. What do you get for that? Oh my goodness.
Here's what you get. That's a great question. You get. Let's see. I'm going to try to find that part of the article, but there's a wine cellar that they have just with Pellegrino in it.
Okay.
There's all kinds of games there. They have, what else did they have there? A gym, a sauna, a music room, a golf simulator.
Oh, wow.
Yes, a special name they'll give you of the affluent, either Biff, Buffy, whatever it might be.
I get my own Harvard nickname.
You get right.
Harvard nickname.
So the whole idea here is, as the epidemic of opioid, the scourge is moving across the country, it's also hitting the rich and powerful.
Okay.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Because they're very depressed people, apparently. So the addiction has spread into their offices, and some of these executives are saying, "Hey, there's a bottom line here. I can go after."
Oh.
Yeah.
So they're seeing the financial opportunity of the scourge of opiate addiction.
A way to make some money.
Ew.
So this is the parasitic, bottom-feeding aspects of Wall Street. Did I say that?
Did I say that? Slipped out. That was your inside voice.
I'm sorry. My inside voice. I'll kind of tamp that down. So as we know, if you've watched any movie about Wall Street or anything like that, we know that painkillers and drugs and fast living is just part of the way it goes, right?
Absolutely.
With these folks, that's what they're supposed to do. So one individual he mentioned in the article, Todd Hollander, he was a trader for many, many years. Percocet, Vicodin, all kinds of different things he was taking just to keep going.
Okay.
And he'd have Percocet with breakfast with orange juice.
Oh.
And when he couldn't get his pills, of course, he had really severe, what we call withdrawals.
Okay.
He couldn't explain them. He's still in finance, and he's annoyed with, you'll like this part. This is the ironic part.
Okay.
He's annoyed with traders and folks now and bankers who don't understand the opioid crisis is spreading through the industry. He's very upset.
Oh, he's upset that they're not acknowledging the crisis within Wall Street.
Yes.
Got it.
No one discusses it.
Oh,
Quote, why is corporate America not getting more involved?
Good point.
Let me provide an answer. It's because of the profits. It's because of the shareholders maybe involved with pharmaceutical companies, but just a thought.
Oh,
just a thought.
Okay.
So corporations, of course, and Wall Street have really deep ties with pharmaceutical.
Yes, they do.
Painkillers. If you've listened to this podcast, you've heard us talk about this over and over and over. Before we got a makeup person, we used to talk about this. So private equity has gotten involved in this, of course. And private equity, if you're not aware, is where very wealthy individuals pool their money and look for other opportunities to become even more wealthy and make even more people wealthy.
Oh, okay. Kind of like we do in recovery.
Yeah. Let's go into this business and make a lot of money. Let's go into nonprofit.
Hey, you and I, we'll pull our $20.
In education, yeah. Hey, can you have a couple bucks for some coffee? That's okay. So these advisors and private equity firms have seen an opportunity, if you will. These are the same people, of course, that are pushing fentanyl across the country.
Oh, my God.
Keep that in mind as we look at this. One of these gentlemen, billionaire John Paulson, has a hedge fund along with a fellow named Steve Cohen, you might know, and was asked in June by the Drug Administration to stop selling the opioid Opana, ER.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we did talk about that. So you see that this person here who is selling an opioid also sees an opportunity to get into treatment.
To invest in treatment programs.
Yes.
Okay.
So where do I go here? Let's see. Meanwhile, the money keeps flowing into the treatment industry. Summit Behavioral Health Care Network of Addiction Centers announced that a private equity firm is going to be taking them over and taking a controlling stake. So what does that tell you as a budding, how would we say?
Well, you basically can have corporate money flowing, which means you're going to have investors who are going to want dividends.
Yes.
They're going to want their money back plus some dividends.
Exactly right. So capitalists are there to do one thing, to provide a profit to shareholders.
That's right. That's their purpose.
Another billionaire, Robert Rowling, is involved in this as well. And our favorite folks in West Palm Beach.
I love them. What are they doing?
They started a program for wealthy executives.
Wealthy, okay.
Yeah. So the irony is not lost on everyone that's involved in this, that they're working two sides of the equation here.
So they're making money by selling the pills, but then they also can make money by treating people who get addicted to the pills they're selling.
Indeed, and in this instance, it's really they're focusing on very wealthy individuals.
Very, very wealthy.
You can sell a bed for $15,500. I'm in.
That's some money.
I'm in.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's one of the gentlemen quotes, "It's only a matter of time before the opioid crisis pervades every single industry." I would suggest it's already happened. It's just been more hidden in some of these rich enclaves.
Okay.
And I think we probably run into that.
Oh, I'm sure we do, particularly in our nonprofit world.
Nonprofit world. Yeah. So and there's some stuff we've already talked about here about deaths and opioid deaths, so we won't go into that. But
it's pretty scandalous.
It is scandalous.
To make money from selling the pills and also providing the treatment to the people when you've sold them the meds. Yeah. Wow. And
this gentleman, I should say, for many years, we need to go into poor Laird, Trey Laird, his background.
Okay.
It's pretty hardcore. Do you mind if you've got a minute?
We have a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, he attended a Manhattan prep school, was vice president of the Dartmouth College fraternity that inspired the movie Animal House.
Wow.
And landed jobs at top investment banks.
Okay.
So this guy's had a hard road to hoe.
He has.
He's had a tough way. But he had an emergency.
We are being elitist. Do you know that? We are being elitist right now.
I think
we're making fun of people who had opportunities we didn't have.
I think the German term is Schadenfreude, which means you experience joy at other people's damage.
Are you saying The part of what you love about this story is somebody with his background having a problem.
Well, it touches everyone, doesn't it? It touches everyone. But sometimes people invite it upon themselves, you know. So so the poor chap had an emergency appendectomy, and that landed him in the hospital. And so he walked out with a bunch of painkillers, and then that's how he got.
That's how he got addicted.
Caught up on OxyContin, of course. Yeah. So when the financial crisis was looming, and he realized he would not make as many millions of dollars as he once thought, he went into treatment. And he found a lot of what you would call enlightenment. So Lighthouse, which he runs with another trader,
that's so funny to me,
is unlicensed, offering no therapy or counseling on the premises. Nothing.
It just sounds like sober living.
It's just a really expensive sober living.
Okay.
There's seaside vistas, chef-prepared meals, trainers, personal housekeeping, all the comforts of home for male professionals.
Okay.
The idea is they'll be there for a month and maybe seek help somewhere else. And they'll be about $15,500 lighter.
Okay.
So it's really, the idea is that they find camaraderie with like-minded people, which for our readers means rich folk.
Which you have an obvious feeling about.
Well, whenever you have equity firms getting involved in
I know, it's bad.
treatment centers, you realize there's going to be some problems.
Yeah,
you heard it first on our
I know, in case it hasn't occurred to you before, but equity investment in treatment. And actually, there's been, in fact, that leads to what I'm going to be talking about when we get to the ethics, because we've had one of those corporations recently in California fail.
Really?
Yeah, so we're going to have a little talk about that.
So what happens when anyway, I can go on with my radical political economy.
But actually, I think if we shift...
Let's shift
because my ethics challenge, which is my favorite, addiction counselors acting badly.
I love this.
If you're an addiction counselor, you can get out your CCAP ethics codes to follow along. We have a link on our atypicalpodbean.com. Okay, Gary, I'm going to read this story. Again, we have to figure out what ethics have been violated now.
It right in front of me.
Again, because this is just lovely that we happen to have this at the same time, because this just came out this week. It's called Clean Collapse, Workers Left in Limbo by Rehab Closure. Oh, here we go. Again in Long Beach. They closed abruptly December 4th, displacing 8 patients, leaving about 25 locals without jobs or paychecks. And the facilities in Astoria closed down as well. There have been signs of major trouble over the last few months, bouncing and missing paychecks, severe understaffing, declining levels of patient care, inadequate food. Now, the owner, Andrew Sanswick of West Hollywood, California, claims Clean is in the middle of a merger. However, when he originally sought approval to open Clean, he readily agreed to conditions laid out by the Long Beach leaders, assuring them that the treatment center would be good for the economy. So he says, we're in the middle of a merger as the insurance companies and bankers have systematically dismantled our industry. We're refocusing and rebuild off the existing assets upon completion of the merger, which will allow us to design a delivery system for behavioral health within the constrictions of the current and political and economic market.
Wow, you were able to say that.
I was able to say that, and do you know that you noticed nothing in there said anything about paying the employees or patient care? Yeah. Okay. That was absent.
It warms the cockles of my heart.
Yeah, I think that was a statement for the investors. Yes. Okay. And in fact, reporters have not been able to verify rumors of a merger. On October 30th, Presidential Healthcare Credit Corp., a Georgia lender, had filed a federal lawsuit asking the owner, White Rabbit, for $8 million in overdue loans. And then in mid-November, the property management company sued Clean for $44,000 in overdue rent. A Clean staffer told the police Clean was closing that day and asked the officers to keep an eye on the building. And by evening, everybody was gone.
The assets. They wanted to protect the asset. Oh, my gosh.
Well, in better times, they had actually served up to 30 patients, employed 50 to 80 people, but the census fluctuate a lot. And so They had laid off and fired dozens or more workers, fallen really low because of the patient numbers. And then October, paychecks started being handwritten. Okay, that's not a good sign. The payroll was being processed.
Whoops.
8 paychecks bounced. And then when they did get staff, finally got paid again, everybody ran to the bank because they were afraid that their check wouldn't pass. Apparently, patient care was declining, as you could only imagine, as your staff is, not being paid. They're starting to have a feeling about coming to work.
Feelings, yeah. Anger was probably top.
And so what the people who remained said is that the clients that were left were not getting good care, not even close to what they're supposed to be getting, so little structure, accountability, that in fact the staff themselves started urging the patients to go to another treatment center. That's all bad, Gary. That's bad. Okay, so the clients knew what was going on. It was hard not to know.
It's a whole lot ugly here.
And then this Tuesday, the workers learned they lost their jobs via text message. That sounds familiar, a la Trump. And then the patients themselves made plans to move to other rehabs. And then, some of them just said they'd have to go live in their car. So anyway, employees say they've done the math, and they say conservatively that the rehab had been grossing about $450,000 a month, about a third of the company's $1.5 million monthly overhead. And in fact, one employee said they saw a manager handling a $70,000 check from an insurance company. In the same month, they were told there was no money for payroll. So there's some serious questions about where is the money going? We know it is not going to the staff.
It's not going to the staff, and if this is not a signpost to the dangers of allowing market forces to be involved in serving our most vulnerable folks, I don't know what is.
There it is. So that's why, isn't that timely that those two worked out together today?
Indeed, I love this.
It is a lesson for us all. So when we look at what are we doing here with our credential, our code of conduct? Oh my good. Well, basically, we have the whole principle 2, meaning, let's see, where are we?
I saw stuff.
Where is it? We're not actually giving them. There it is. Not an F, which was 2F, engaging in the practice of addiction counseling, being present where services are admitted. They're not, the employees themselves are not, participating, failing to maintain records,
violating federal law,
not providing the treatment that the clients have paid for, all kinds of things in here. Right. Yeah. Failing to treat colleagues and other professionals with respect. Yeah. Exploiting relationships with, clients and other staff members.
Legal standards.
Asking people to work without paying them.
Yeah.
And then, of course, not actively making attempts to get the clients the care they need, just kind of letting the clients just dangle until...
Just turn them out in the wild. That's pretty much
my God.
Happens.
And one of the things I didn't put in here, but one of the things in the article they had mentioned was one of the major signs of concern were to empty refrigerators.
That would do it.
They weren't even feeding them.
Was that related to those folks in Kentucky? Maybe they're the...
the food stamp people. Yeah, there's the food stamp people that we had last time. You're right, Gary. You're right. We wondered what happened to her.
Did this place have a restaurant?
Yeah, exactly. That was particularly horrific story.
It is a horrific story.
Of what happens when you let it be all about the money.
All about the money. And here's just a reminder, folks, that we like to slam on the government all the time. That's an important thing we just do as Americans. But there are some things that government does very well.
Yeah.
And that is, we take care of the commons. We take care of those things that are common to all of us and everyone that's part of this country. We are able to provide services for them that are in need, and some things should not be subject to market forces. Yeah. Basic care like this should not be.
Basic care.
And this is the result of what happens when market forces are involved in providing essential care.
Yeah, there it is. Again, our argument. Away. There's our argument.
They walk away.
Yeah.
And they're walking away with the money. It's.
Oh yeah, somebody's got that $70,000 check in their purse.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
It's not me.
Yeah, well, it's not me either, honey.
So I'm not carrying a purse today, but if I was, since I'm wearing so much makeup.
I'm sure you'd look spiffy.
Yeah. I need to really cheer myself up now because I'm getting kind of dark, and it's the holidays. It's a seasonal
affective
disorder.
Yeah.
Or there's other terms for that too.
Sad.
I'll leave it.
Yeah.
Leave it where it is. So maybe we can shift interest here to something that we find really fascinating about prevention.
Prevention, yay. Okay.
So we can't prevent right now the capitalists taking over some of these treatment centers.
No, we can't.
But we're going to work on that. That's for a later time. But let's move into something that is working. How about this? Working out for recovery. A local gym promotes exercise for addiction and mental illness.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
This is out of Madison, Wisconsin.
All right.
Which, if you've been to Madison, is kind of like Santa Cruz, but with no ocean.
Really?
Yeah. Or no bay. It's very, forward-thinking
I did not know that.
Place to be, yes. And so here's the deal. This gym, they promote, of course, is the perfect place to build muscle, strength, and for some, a new life. So the idea is this gal, Katie Kiss.
Katie Kiss, okay.
KK. Who oversees the Badger Fitness location in Madison. So the idea is to transform your physique. It takes a lot of work and exercise and repetition and support. And Kiss tells you this also changes your life.
Oh, absolutely.
Changing your life is not so different than working out. That's the whole idea. That's the connection.
Okay.
So if you're doing reps, getting strong with your muscles, you're also getting reps with your mind, your heart.
That's true. The whole thing's connected.
It's all connected. So she, of course, has a personal story. She was arrested in 2013 on burglary charges. She was addicted to heroin, and Kiss really felt stuck. She said she wanted to have a baby. She wanted to have a family. She wanted a normal life. And really working out got her moving in the right direction. She walked into this Badger Fitness place 3 years ago, and that's when the transformation started. And she said, I love the people in the environment. It's really about changing paths. And this is true. Changing paths in your brain to create new behavior.
Oh, yeah, we create new, we grow new neurons, actually.
Yeah,
lay down new neural pathways. You're exactly right.
And so this is really exciting to me because for so many years we said, you can't, once you're damaged, you're just damaged.
Oh, yeah.
But no.
That's not true.
No, not at all.
Neuroplasticity is in, baby.
It's in, baby, and I'm excited about it because, this might help me too. So, the idea here, and I have to apologize, but this is a line out of the article. She did the heavy lifting to build herself back up. Oh, we need some kind of bad sound for that.
That's painful. Okay.
So, I won't go into that. She's talking about squats and stuff like that, but the idea is you get in there, you work hard, and over time, which is the most important thing, you start feeling better, and you start trusting yourself. You start knowing that, I'm doing this really hard thing. I'm getting better at it. And you can translate that experience to other things in your life.
Very cool.
Yeah. It's like, oh, wait, this is kind of hard. And you can reflect on, oh, yeah, when I was at gym, this was hard too. And I started 3 years ago. And now look where I'm at now. And it's kind of a life lesson. So she, of course, is very, I'll call her a disciple almost. She wants to help other people do the same thing. And she's suggesting that about 30% of the folks that come there there's some type of addiction, drugs, alcohol, gambling. And there's this gal here, Katie's friend, who talks about this. These are her words. I was afraid I was going to be a worthless junkie, which is not a nicest thing to say, of course. But this other person, her friend, came in, and now she's working at another Badger Fitness location.
So they're growing.
Yeah, they're growing. It's just really kind of cool. So the idea here is this is, for them, a lot more fun than any partying because you feel better. You look better for yourself, whatever that looks like. Makeup's not helping today for me, but she's still, it's really transformed their life. So Katie Kiss now has met her husband. Wow. She's got a child.
Wow.
Yeah, they're both fit. They're living a really good life, and to me, this was just really cool.
That is a lovely article. That's very nice. Yeah, I've known clients who did that really, because I think there's the other part of it is the discipline and the structure.
Yes.
Because a lot of our clients, they come out of particularly a long period of using, their life's been really chaotic, missing structure. And so there's something about that, having somewhere to go, having a purpose. I've even had clients actually start competing.
Oh, wow.
Like female clients who become like female bodybuilders, which is really a trip. You know, they seriously, they're all into it. They start eating particular ways. But, I think there is a certain amount of personal satisfaction when you can transform yourself like that physically.
I agree. Yeah. And just so people realize that the benefits of exercise, you don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to spend money. You could just go walk.
Well, you could.
You can go look at trees for whatever's left in the area that we live.
Yes, we could.
So those are also things that are very.
Well, let me ask you this, because you're a cyclist, dude.
Yeah.
Do guys like you, that particularly when you do cycling professionally, do they actually work out at a gym or do they just ride?
Well, these days they do. Some of the pros do work out in the gym now because the core strength is a very good aspect for cycling.
Oh, okay.
And so some of them do, but they don't want to build bulk.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
So you want to do strength training?
I'm not a bulky guy.
No, you're aerodynamic, Gary.
Leg strong.
You're designed to go through the wind. That's what you're designed.
That's about it. So but there is something to be said for rigorous exercise. It really does put your mind. It puts you right with yourself.
Yeah.
That's all. You can be no other place. Because either you're putting yourself into suffering, or you're thinking, I need to slow down so
so I don't die.
I mean, music and arts do the same thing. It puts you in a different kind
That's true. Well, no, the idea is that it shifts your head
space.
It's
a meditation.
It shifts your space. It does.
It really does.
Okay. All right. Well, now we get to go to our last section, one of my favorites, humility moment.
Jeez.
Humility moment, where we get to remind ourselves not to take ourselves too seriously. And we know that's a key to burnout prevention. Yeah. So, who wants to go first?
Well, I don't know. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I can go this week, Gary. I have to report
Throw it down.
That I have once again managed to demonstrate my lack of depth perception. I managed to sideswipe the fence at my office, crack the fence, and now I'm unable to open the passenger door because I am a doofus.
At your office?
And this is what's Gary, this is not the first time I've had to fix that fence.
How's the car?
In fact, I should have the fence guy on retainer.
I don't know. Why don't you just take the fence down?
Where's the fun in that? So I did have the car estimated, Gary, and it would take more to fix the car than trade it in. So, at this point, what I'm probably going to do over the holidays is at some point I'm going to have to clean out my car, because I did see on the commercial the Enterprise will take anything.
Wait, seriously, your car's that damaged?
Yeah.
Oh
it would cost I literally cannot open the passenger door.
So you really...
So I'm driving around with like that, and it said,
You're wearing glasses.
Yeah, I know. And I know. I have a really hard time on the right side. I tend to sideswipe things. Yeah, on the right side. Just know that when you park next to me. I'm just saying.
I'm not going to...
I do great on the left.
You do, yeah. You do know what I drive. So
I do.
Unfortunately.
But it just reminded me once again why I can't have nice things, Gary. I cannot have a nice car. In fact, usually when I buy a car, the only question I ask is, how bad a beating can this thing take?
Are you left-handed? Are you left-handed?
No, I'm not. No, but I have trouble with that side.
Really? I think
it's really frightening, isn't it?
Look into that.
Yeah, I know.
Could be a...
Always had that. I'm on the clumsy side there.
An ocular thing.
Yeah, but there you go. That was mine.
Well, I'm seeing a theme here. My theme is not related to yours, but we have the same themes. We've talked about shaving. We've talked about leaving food in cars.
Yes, we have.
And I had another shaving incident.
Uh-oh.
And some of you, since it's not telecast and we're wearing makeup anyway, I have what they call stubble.
Yes, you do. Very manly.
But it's a rugged thing. I try to feign that it's rugged.
Yeah, muy rugged.
Really not. But it does take some maintenance, and I have to toggle between an electric shaver and a regular blade.
Ah.
And so the problems with me seem to be the electric shavers.
Okay.
And so we know that I purchased another one because the little fault switch went.
That's exactly right. I remember that.
And also, I have to shave with regular stuff. What do you call water and the little type of gel thing, right? What you shouldn't do is shave with the electric one and then put it in the water because you think you're doing that.
Gary!
Now, fortunately, it's not plugged in because it's metal.
Oh, thank God.
But it stopped.
Oh my God, Gary.
But for our audience at home, it's working again. It dried out. It's fine. Okay. But that's when you know you're pretty tired.
Oh, thank God it wasn't plugged in.
Yeah, well, that
would have been very bad.
The electric one, you can't. The metal one, it won't work if it's plugged in.
Okay.
Thank God.
Oh my God. You should have things that plug in, Gary.
Yeah, well, yeah. The other one will plug in and work, but it's a plastic handle. This one's a metal.
Oh, Gary.
That could have been.
That could have been bad.
Yeah, it could have been an electrifying experience.
Yes, it could have been.
So I just kind of looked at it.
Oh.
I threw it down. I said, "What the?" And then just moved on. And thought I already have a backup if it doesn't work.
That's right. Yes, you bought the
first one. So I was covered. I was covered.
You are razor covered, buddy.
It works. Okay. But it dried out. It works.
Okay, so apparently, what I'm wondering, if you're not the first person who ever did that, which is they designed it for that.
They have some that are the wet.
Okay.
They work, but this isn't one of them.
Okay.
And I'm not going to buy another one.
No. Santa does not need to bring you another electric razor.
And I do wear glasses, and so glasses were not on.
Okay.
Because how do you wear glasses out of the shower,
Well, I have the same problem. I mean, I don't.
You kind of fumble around and,
It happens.
Yeah, it's weird.
Okay, well,
anyway,
I'm glad you're in one piece. I'm glad I'm in one piece.
I'm going to get off the food and the shaver stuff.
And I'm going to, eventually get a car that all the doors open.
And I'm going to park away from you.
And you're going to park away from me.
That's our message.
Okay, y'all. Well, we're probably saying happy holidays for today because I don't think we're going to reconvene until after Christmas. But happy holidays to you, Kara.
Happy holidays
to you.
Glad
we're doing this.
Me too. Our 10th is coming up.
Yep. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.